Hello, Vikings fans! Welcome to Skol Nation Vikings Daily, your go-to source for Minnesota Vikings news. Today, we've got an exciting update that you won't want to miss. Stick around as we delve into some surprising strengths of our roster that could redefine the upcoming season. Coming off a 7-10 season, the Vikings faced a whirlwind of challenges, not the least of which was a revolving door at quarterback. Kirk Cousins' injury at the midpoint of the season left us scrambling, with none of the backup trio able to steer the team to a second consecutive playoff appearance. Our running game didn't fare much better, struggling to provide the necessary support. But what about the defense? What changes have been made that might just tip the scales in our favor this year? On the defensive front, newly hired coordinator Brian Flores managed to fix some issues, yet others lingered due to a lack of depth. Even though there were noticeable improvements compared to the previous year, the departure of key players like Danielle Hunter and Jordan Hicks posed a significant concern for our defense. But here's where it gets interesting. Despite these losses, the Vikings have quietly built a solid linebacker core that might just surprise everyone this season. Undrafted free agent Ivan Pace Jr. emerged as one of the best stories from the 2023 season. Earning a starting role in the Vikings defense and a commendable 77.7 PFF coverage grade, Pace quickly became a fan favorite. He's set to pair up with Blake Cashman this season. Cashman, a former fifth-round pick from the 2019 NFL Draft, is coming off a career-best year with an impressive 82.1 PFF grade. So what does this new pairing mean for the Vikings? Could this be the unexpected strength that leads us to victory? You might not think of the linebackers as a team strength, but that's about to change. This season, we'll see Ivan Pace and Blake Cashman taking the field together, a shift from last year's duo of Hicks and Pace. It's worth noting that in 2022, it was Eric Kendricks and Hicks who formed the tandem. The transition has been remarkable, with Pace, who went undrafted, captivating fans and shaking up expectations. Could this underdog story be a game-changer for our season? In preseason, Pace quickly outshined the anticipated starter, Brian Asamoah, in training camp, raising questions about his role. But Pace answered all doubts on the field. His coverage, run defense, and most notably his pass-rushing prowess made him a standout. Flores' blitz-heavy scheme suited Pace perfectly, allowing him to log over 700 snaps in his rookie season. So, how will Pace's continued development impact our defensive strategy this year? Now let's talk about Blake Cashman, who will be Pace's co-pilot this season. Cashman's journey is equally compelling. Initially struggling with injuries in his first 3 seasons with the Jets, Cashman found new life with the Houston Texans in 2023, achieving career highs across all categories and becoming a full-time starter. Will Cashman be able to maintain this momentum and solidify his role with the Vikings? Minnesota saw his potential and signed Cashman to a 3-year deal worth $22.5 million, a move that's flown under the radar but holds significant promise. His athleticism and versatility as a 3-down linebacker make him an essential asset for the Vikings. But that's not all. With Hicks's departure, the crucial green dot duties, responsible for receiving play calls from Flores, will now fall to either Cashman or Pace. During Hicks's 4-game absence last season, Pace took on this role and excelled, earning praise from the coaching staff. So who will step up to this leadership role and guide our defense on the field? Behind our starting duo, we have the talented 2022 third-round pick Brian Asamoah, free agent addition Kamu Grugier-Hill, and 3 undrafted players, Abraham Beauplan, Dallas Gant, and KJ Cloyd. Each of these players adds depth and potential to our linebacker core, an area that may prove to be more robust than initially thought. Could one of these backup players emerge as a key contributor this season? While our defense still has some gaps, particularly at cornerback and the defensive line, the linebacker unit is shaping up to be a hidden gem. The combination of Pace and Cashman, along with the supporting cast, could be the secret weapon that bolsters our defense and helps us tackle the challenges of the upcoming season. But what about the other defensive positions? How will they complement our linebackers and create a cohesive defensive strategy? Brian Flores' influence as the defensive coordinator cannot be overstated. His ability to maximize the potential of his players is evident in how he utilized Pace's skills last season. With a year under his belt, Flores has had more time to understand his players' strengths and weaknesses. How will this deeper understanding translate into on-field performance? Will Flores' strategies evolve to further exploit the strengths of our linebackers? Another interesting point to consider is how the rest of the NFL views our linebacker duo. Often flying under the radar, Pace and Cashman might not yet be household names, but their performances could soon change that. How will opposing teams adapt their strategies to counter our linebackers? And more importantly, how will our linebackers respond to these adjustments? As the season progresses, the development of our linebackers will be a key storyline to watch. Will Pace continue his upward trajectory and become one of the league's premier linebackers? Will Cashman's resurgence with the Vikings solidify his status as a top-tier defender? The answers to these questions could significantly impact our playoff aspirations. Let's not forget the broader implications for our team. A strong linebacker core can elevate the entire defense, providing better coverage, improved pass rush, and more reliable tackling. How will this affect our overall defensive statistics? Could we see a marked improvement in our defensive rankings this season? Our offense, too, stands to benefit from a more robust defense. With our defense able to create more stops and turnovers, our offense will have more opportunities to score. How will this interplay between our defense and offense shape our game strategy? Will we see a more aggressive offensive approach as a result? Now, we want to hear from you. Do you think the linebacker duo of Ivan Pace Jr. and Blake Cashman can rise to the occasion this season? How do you see their roles evolving as the season progresses? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to Skol Nation Vikings Daily for all the latest updates. Thank you for tuning in. Go Vikings!